What's up, y'all? It's good evening. Rachel, are you somewhere over like in the UK or something? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Awesome. Let people filter in here. Here we go. That's how it goes when you get on a noon call. You get to your computer at noon, then you open the Zoom room at 12:01. What's up, Amy? Hey, by all means, y'all, if you want to sit in and listen, cool. And if you've been at one of my calls before, we like interaction too. I'm not here just to talk at y'all. You can want somebody to just talk at you, we can go listen to podcasts or watch YouTube. I got plenty of podcasts. All right. And we're gonna let people in here for a second before there we go. Ding 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 ding. Everybody's coming on in. Hey, if y'all ever oh, here we go. More people. More people. All right, we'll dig in here. All right. We're talking about authenticity today. Authentic magnetism, right? Creating polarity from peace, not pressure. Right? We got two people with cameras on, but like drop it in the chat or raise your hands if like the whole polarity magnetism ever feels like takes force. Like there's pressure to do it, pressure to show up. A little bit, a little bit. Cool. Dang, a little bit. Awesome. Boom, 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 boom. We got more people jumping in. Rachel, yes. All right, cool. I love that. Appreciate y'all uh participating in the chat too. By all means, if you're able to. Cameras on, welcome. Olivia, cool to see you back at one of these. And all right, cool. So we got some agreements here that authenticity or like creating polarity in content can feel forced. Why is that? Anybody got any ideas? Drop it in the chat or just like everybody rush to unmute and say it at once.
Because
It's
that's what
like,
I hear everyone else suggest that we should do.
What do they suggest you should do?
Just the more that you create polarity, then you have a stronger brand. So if you have strong opinions that, yes, some people are not going to like your opinions, but the people that do agree with you are going to feel more magnetic towards you.
Totally. Um, what's uncomfortable about that?
Sharing opinions other people might not like.
What's the worst thing that happens?
They unfollow me.
Cool. Now I say that because like you see, like even your body language, you're like, yeah, I get this. Like, thanks for playing along, Elizabeth. Um, let's see
you
more
know what?
unmutes.
I
I
think,
always, oh,
Oh,
go
you
ahead.
go first. You go,
Okay.
Tara.
I always feel like when I have a lull in content, it's because I'm not doing enough outside of the content, like talking, getting in more conversations and things like that, because
mm,
that's where most of it comes from. So when I do more of that, I have more opinions.
fair, fair.
Um, I think you said like what can feel uncomfortable sometimes making content that's polarizing. For me, it's like I don't know how it'll land, so I might be putting myself out there for people not to like what I have to say or to reject it. So I think that's what I think. Like, oh, is this gonna rub people the wrong way? That's the thing. It's like, am I gonna rub too many people the wrong way?
Yeah. So on that note, a lot of us understand like, oh, well, if we rub some people the wrong way, like others will attract it, right? Like a magnet, polarity on a magnet pushes some things away, pulls some things in. I
Yeah.
could sit here and tell all of you stuff that you already know, like the stuff that mindset books. Where does that discomfort come from, though, right? Like we know that that's good to like push the non-ideal clients out of our audience. So why are they still like? Why aren't we doing it? Um, well, oh, Matthew's back. Um, Well, for any context, for any of y'all who haven't been on a call with me yet, or by the way, there's a post under pinned support if you want to jump on and dig into this. Yeah, fear of being rejected. We'll go as deep as we get here today, and there is a post under pinned support. We got Will himself jumping in here. Uh, there's a post under pinned support if anybody wants to go deeper than where we go today. We're talking about authenticity. Like everybody knows, right? Like we're supposed to go polarizing this. Where does it come from? Right. And this is where this is, I've got about 2,000 hours working one to one with people on this kind of stuff. Now, what is this kind of stuff? Well, let's play a little game. Anybody, anybody at all? Can y'all read that? Who wants to read that out loud?
I should be more polarizing.
Cool. Thanks you, Matthew. Appreciate you being here, man. Um, what happens when you say that? When you read it out loud?
Um, Seems like an obligation.
Ooh, obligation. That obligation, is there any, if any emotional response, what's the strongest emotion to that obligation?
Like, why should I be? Like, who's telling me I have to be this?
Who's telling me? Okay, yeah. Um, one's low, ten's high. How big is that? Why should I be that way? Feeling.
Probably 7.
Cool. 7 out of 10. Why should I be that way? Where is it in your body?
Kind of chest, shoulders.
Cool. Chest, shoulders, 7 out of 10. Who's telling me? Why should I be this way? Is there an earliest time you can remember feeling that?
Um, I don't know. It's kind of uh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of like a stubborn thing. It's like, who tells me what to do? I tell me what to
totally.
do. But they're
And
like,
like,
I'm telling me what to do. What if
yeah,
I've internalized this sentence and I'm like resisting myself because I'm telling myself I should be more polarizing. Maybe I don't want to be.
totally. And like, and you're on the spot here in front of a group on Zoom. Appreciate you playing along. For everybody here, like this is what I run into almost every time is our nervous system goes, yeah, I don't know. It's like sometimes we can take a big long breath, but there's something under there where we first patterned that meaning with that emotion. And it burned into our reticular activating system. And now anytime something similar comes up, we say, oh, ugh, that's uncomfortable. We're going to move away from it. Right. By the way, we're playing with words here today, y'all. Your mom and dad said don't play with your food. I say play with your words. Uh, abracadabra. Anybody know where it comes from? From Aramaic, for with my word I create, with my word I influence. So, as I'm trying to type here, more people come jumping in. Matt, do you want to read that one again, man?
Yeah, I could be more polarizing.
What's the difference?
It just feels kind of neutral.
Kind of neutral. So, which one do you prefer?
Um, I mean, honestly, I kind of, even though I want to resist it, the should at least elicit some emotion. The could just kind of like, could.
Totally. And I see this a lot, right? Because like, well, at least should will get something done. But like, is should getting anything done? Right? Is the thing. And this is like this for oh y'all, this is a language game I play time and time again. It's called the should detox. Hey brother, you wanna read that one for us?
Yeah, I can be more polarizing.
What happens there?
Feels more like permission based. Like if I want to, I could, you know.
Cool. Permission based, as opposed to go do this now. You need to do this. All right. I had some, I'm not saying this is where that story or feeling was born out of. I just know we both share military backgrounds. Um, I had some leaders in the military that if they told me what to do something, I'd be like, why would I ever listen to you?
100%. Yeah.
You know, so if there's any of that in there, if you had somebody, whatever it is, and for some context here, y'all, I'll tell a story real quick because that's what we're talking about is stories. Because words, with my word I create, with my word I influence. What are stories made out of? They're made out of words. Um, Mind-blowing fact, I know. Leonardo da Vinci said simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. There's a lot of really in-depth mindset stuff out there these days, Jungian psychology, psychoanalysis. I just want to know what words we're saying and when those words were burned into us, right? So when we look at those words, we can do things like this. Look at a should statement. All right, when's the earliest time we felt that? When did we first burn that belief into our reticular activating system, which, by the way, is the search and edit machine for our reality? And if we go back and we find that, well, interesting things start to happen. I'll tell a story from back when I owned my gym. I had gotten into this work, and one of our clients there, she was working with one of my coaches on staff on personal training and nutrition. She wasn't using the nutrition. She would kill a whole bag of chocolate a couple times a week. She comes up to me. She goes, "Hey, I think I need a chase psychology session." I was like, "We can't legally call it that, but yeah, let's chat." We sit down, and I'm like, "All right, what's going on? What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, I ate a whole bag of chocolate last night." I said, "All right, let's write the story of going and reading that whole bag of chocolate because this stuff works best with specific examples." So she goes and she writes that story out. It's the same questions I've been asking here. What's the strongest emotion? One's low, tense, high. Where is it in your body? When's the earliest time you felt it? Y'all, if you never end up on another call with me, take these questions and put it into your writing, right? Where I come in is surgical precision with which questions to ask and when. And time again, I get this reaction from people when I ask these questions, when it actually lands. They go, "Oh." And she goes, "When I was 12, my mom was pressuring me to have a certain body type for cheerleading." So guess what we did? We wrote that story out and we took it through my 4-step process, which, by the way, if y'all are coming to the mastermind, you'll see it in action. Um, if you look at some of my previous workshops, you'll see it in action. If we get time here today, maybe we'll play with it. And we 4-step that story. We changed some words around about what it meant to her, one word at a time, like we're doing here with the should detox. Guess who used her nutrition coaching so well that she ended up stop paying us for it because so it's a little counterintuitive, but um, after I think 3, 4 more months, she was good. She hit her goal weight, she was holding it, and she actually used the coaching she was paying for. All right. So we're at because Matthew, if you finish this verbally, I can be more polarizing because why?
Because I want to.
Beautiful. You laid this up perfectly. Does anybody here remember copy machines besides me? I know I'm going to be 38 this year, so um, back in the 1980s, a social psychologist did an experiment in a library. Went up and asked people, "Hey, can I cut in line to make a copy?" About 64% of the time, they got a yes, her and her team. Then they said, "Well, we're going to add a reason. Can I cut in line because I'm late, because I have to pick my kids up, because I have a meeting?" Anybody want to guess what happened when they added the reason? How often they got a yes? Anyone?
I know it was a huge jump. It was like 70% or 80% or something crazy.
96% they got a yes. So now what happens? They go, "Well, was it because there was a reason or was it because of the specific reason?" So they said, "Can I cut in line because I need to make a copy?" Yeah, no shit. You're at the copy machine. 94% of the time, they still got a yes. So, Matthew, since you're here and you're unmuted, do me a favor, brother. Can you read the one I have highlighted and take a breath?
Yeah, I should be more polarizing.
Now read this one and take a breath.
I can be more polarizing because I want to.
Anybody hear the difference in tone between those two? What was the felt experience on those? Reading them out loud.
Um, yeah, I mean, still some resistance probably to the first one, and the second one was just kind of neutral.
Just kind of neutral. Which one do you prefer?
I still don't love either one because I used the I want to as an example, but like I hadn't like internalized I want to. I wasn't saying that like I want to be polarizing. I'm just like this is something you could say, so it's not something that I wanted to say necessarily.
Cool. Why can you be? Because why?
Um, because it could serve my business.
Cool. Read that one and take a breath.
I can be more polarizing because it could serve my business.
Now, how do you feel about that statement?
Yeah, feels more true.
Cool. Now read it.
I can be more polarizing because it will serve my business.
Which one do you prefer?
I still like the can because I don't know if I believe the will yet.
Cool. You said can, not could. So I'll put that. Nice little slip there. I know.
Mhm.
Cool. Appreciate you playing along. So, y'all, this is just simple word games. But what we can get into here, what we find with this stuff is the underlying stories. Like what we do, especially when I'm one to one with somebody, is we'll really dive in, get some writing going, and we find what is the underlying story. And let me take my screen share off for a second to really make this point. Um, Time and time again, people start with me, or they come in for a session. They're like, I don't know if this is going to be the like what's going on. I've done mindset work, and then 3 weeks in, oh, I get it now. Because what's creating the noise, what's creating the resistance for the polarity isn't only our resistance to polarity, right? It's that time that we said something that we really believed in gym class in seventh grade and everybody laughed at us. It's that time that so and so ended up dating so and so instead of us. It's that time that we felt like our parents' divorce was on our shoulders. And for the record, I know there's people in this room that are going, yeah, I've already looked at this stuff. And hey, cool. Good for you. Um, if it's done, it's done. And time and time and time again, the way that we look at these things, because I fall prey to this too, is we like overanalyze it up in the head. Anybody here know who Joseph Campbell is? Pioneered the hero's journey, found the monomyth throughout all of myth. There's a quote of his that I love. Any feeling felt fully is bliss. And oftentimes, what we do with mindset work is we use it to avoid the feeling. We use it to avoid that nasty stuff. We're like, well, I know that that fight I got in with my dad made me feel dangerous. So now I like I know that stuff, so I don't need to look. It's protection, and it's understandable. And it's like, what are we going to do with it though? Because what happens is that emotion. This is why I asked the question, where is it in your body? That emotion stores in our body. So then, if a similar emotion pings in relation to content, in relation to a sales call, in relation to wherever we need to show up most magnetic and authentic, guess what happens? Wait, that emotion, when do we feel that? Now it goes to our reticular activating system in our brain and it says, oh, we felt it that time. And here's the meaning we ascribe to that story. So we're going to bring that meaning forward to here. And no, we don't want to feel this emotion or this meaning anymore. So why this is where the forced feeling comes in. Fair enough. See some people nodding along. Appreciate y'all letting me know you're here. Yo, yo, Taylor, thanks for being here, bro.
Course.
Hey, man, what do you think about this work?
You get what you put into it,
Portion of
right?
the content.
A lot of people will think that it's kind of like weird, foo-foo, whatever. But I hope at least a lot of these coaches recognize that the mind and the thoughts that you have can open things up. And even if you think you're good, you're probably not. And Chase helped me recognize that and absolutely smashed the last quarter of the year, not just in my business, but personally. Like I'm in a way different spot now because of diving into these stories, finding those answers inside.
Well, I didn't ask you to say that much, but thank you.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Hey, brother. No, thank you for being here. And yeah, anytime there's somebody in here who's experienced this work, I want to ask because, like, of course, I believe in this stuff. It's what I do, right? Um, and to what Taylor said, like, it seems frou-frou. It seems like emotions. Or who was it? Was it Elizabeth? That you, Joe Hudson's work? Yeah, I just listened to his episode on modern wisdom. And it is like as he's going through there, I'm like, I sent it to a couple of clients. I sent that episode. Actually, I sent that episode to one client specifically who, and she was like, "Oh, this really broke open why we're here." Because what he talks about in there, heartbreak expands our ability to love. Every time our heart breaks open, it expands our ability to feel more love. I think he dropped that quote at the 15-minute mark, and he said it a little bit more. However, he said it was just like I was like, "That's it right there." Any feeling felt fully is bliss, y'all. That doesn't mean that we go all day saying, I'm sad, so I'm going to stay sad. Michael Singer, let's go frou with it. Michael Singer in The Untethered Soul, because he's also like hyper successful too, made a whole lot of money. Uh, Introduced me to the idea of samskaras, yogis, right? It's energy blockages in the body from emotions that didn't make it all the way through. Well, how do those get there? Because it wasn't felt fully. So this stuff stores in our body, and until we go back in and air it out, and you guys want to talk about woo-woo stuff, um, interesting thing. I see interesting things happen with this work. People who couldn't overhead squat to depth work a story, and there's tension in their upper back that releases. All of a sudden, they could overhead squat to depth. So, Elizabeth, what's up?
That made me want to share like a story for a few minutes, if that's okay.
Please.
So I've been doing a lot of somatic healing recently, and I'm 30 now, but in my mid 20s, I had a lot of health problems, like my nervous system. I was diagnosed with narcolepsy. I had a lot of gut problems. My hormones were really off, just all these things. And I discovered Joe Hudson and taught myself how to have like somatic releases based off of his work. And I literally feel like my entire body just de-thawed. And I cannot believe how much emotion as I was going through that poured out of my body. I didn't even know that was possible to have so much emotion just like stored in my body that was unprocessed. And all my health problems are gone. I have not had a single issue with narcolepsy at all. I literally feel like I can see better, I can hear better, like my senses are better. I feel like my body literally came back online. So this just reminded me of that. And I think this work is one of the most powerful things that probably saved my life.
Thank you for sharing, and I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. Now, we got about 35 minutes left here. You guys want to do some writing? Uh, am I going to see like half this Zoom room drop as soon as we do writing? Probably. Those that stick around, though, will you get massive value from it? Yes. Matthew, what's up, man? Oh, are you raising your hand for? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. I just had something that popped into my head because I've gotten this on a couple of DMs recently. Because you were talking about the should, could, can kind of language.
Yeah.
I get a lot of people. I need to lose 50 pounds. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering like kind of how that, when somebody just straight up sees a DM, they're I need to lose blah blah blah. It's like where's the need versus like the should, the could, like where does that kind of frame into that language structure?
Uh, to me, it's need because why? Like that's the because to me. It's just like, no, because why?
Mhm.
You know, like that's one of my favorite leads where if you want to talk about DMs, like, oh, because why?
Mhm.
Because for the same power that it does to the copy machine, it's going to do to everybody else's psyche too. So if they come up with a sentence, well, I need to lose weight because X, Y, and Z. Cool. Now, why is that a need? Well, because this is this. Cool. And I tiptoe very lightly in the DMs at how many times I start reframing people's words and telling them that they're wrong about what they think until they buy into trusting me as a guide.
Yeah.
I do it here because you guys bought into trusting Will and his team. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Polarity, ruffling people's feathers. Y'all wanna you wanna write a letter called Dear Polarity? This will be a new one. Dear standing on business. Dear what I actually believe and won't say. Y'all game? 5 minutes, just 5 minutes of writing. Then we'll preview a little bit of the 4 step process. Anybody who makes it to the end of the call, I got a gift for you. Let's go. Dear Polarity. Ashley jumping in.
I'm here. I had another
Yeah.
call. I wasn't going to miss what I could be here for.
Well, we spent the first half an hour jabbing and talking about words and stories and stuff you heard at the mastermind. Um, Taylor, good stuff, writing something different. So, by all means, y'all, if something came up while we were talking, and there's something to write that is burning in your head around all of things we've been talking, get that out. Ashley, I gave a prompt like dear polarity, dear magnetism, dear whatever. I have them writing right now. We got about 4 minutes left on the clock for writing. So, and if anybody else, if anybody has anything else to write, just like Taylor, where it's like, I've slacked off on this thing that's running circles in my head, feel free to use this time to get it out of your head and onto paper or digital paper.
So when you're saying like dear magnetism, like we're
Dear,
talking,
yeah, fair, more context because we've been
yeah,
talking for half an hour to lay
yeah,
it
I
out.
missed it. I missed it.
Yeah,
Give me
I
like two
know.
more sentences.
I know. Me trying to psychically feed you half an hour worth of context, right?
I'm trying so hard.
Yeah, I know. That's on me. So polarity as in content, as in magnetism in the brand, as in, because the whole thing we opened this with was authentic magnetism, polarity from peace, not pressure,
Mm,
right? So looking at how can we be polarizing in a way that feels natural as opposed to feeling forced or like we should do it.
okay.
Yeah. About 2 minutes left on the clock, y'all. Keep writing. If this 5 minute timer goes off and you're still writing, then keep it going. About 30 seconds. By the way, if you're coming to Scottsdale we can say next month now. A fun writing prompt for you guys when I get my hour. That's gonna be a blast.
I'm excited to get back together in person, and my husband gets to meet you this time. I'm stoked.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked for that. That's gonna be a blast. Aren't you guys like right there?
We're an hour from Scottsdale, but yeah, we're in Scottsdale every week.
Yeah, compared to where other people are traveling
Oh,
from,
yeah.
you're right there.
I almost don't like that. I feel like it's better when I have to go somewhere out of town because I still feel the obligations of like having my kids home and like drop
Fair.
off and pick up. I feel like like you saw how it was at the last one. Like
Uh-huh.
we hung out morning, day, night,
Yep.
cake at
Yeah,
11 p.m. Like
for
can't
sure.
I don't feel like I have that ability when I'm in my hometown.
That's fair. I get that. A mentor once told me, when we're talking about doing in-person events one-to-one with people, he's like, bring them to you. Don't go to them. Take them out of their environment. Yeah. All right, y'all. How was that writing? Cool. All right. So this four-step process here, I'll lay out the steps for you guys. A few people on this call have experienced it before. First step, we write. The next three steps, we read it out loud. Is anybody here open and available to reading what they wrote out loud? Alyssa, first hand to go up. Awesome. So this first read is just conversational pace, word for word, what you wrote when you're ready.
Okay, and I shifted a little bit. I decided to write to vulnerability instead of being polarizing.
Good job going the next layer down. Awesome.
Okay. Uh, Dear vulnerability, you suck. It's been my forever problem. I want to seem polished, witty, have depth, can provide clarity. I'm afraid of people seeing my real self. They'll see the used to be overweight, non PhD, failed dancer, curly headed, insecure, overthinking, non decisive fraud. Logically, I know I have value to share and that lots of people respect and look up to me, but I feel like a small fish in a big pond here. I don't know what about me is interesting or magnetizing, and the thought of testing it, because I used to be a researcher and I analyze data, is overwhelming. So many angles, so many formats. So I'm struggling to just ready, fire, aim versus ready, aim, fire. Getting better though.
Thank you for sharing. Alyssa, what's the strongest emotion as you read that?
Um, Anxiety.
One's low, ten's high.
7,
7 out of 10 anxiety. Where is it in your body?
right here.
Right there, like in your like sternum, solar plexus.
Yeah.
Cool. 7 out of 10 anxiety, sternum, solar plexus area. Maybe take like a deep breath and like on the exhale, just like this might sound woo, y'all, but like ask your body, when's the first time you can remember feeling that?
Like in my whole life.
Yeah. When's the earliest time?
Oh God, like 12. I don't know.
You remember what was going on? Could you give that
Uh,
story a title?
Figuring out how to be me while my parents are divorcing and I was eating my emotions and
Okay.
completely clueless.
All right. Um, write that title down somewhere, like wherever you wrote this story, figuring out how to be me while my parents were divorcing. Full disclosure, y'all, when if we get like into a divorce theme, when I'm working with people, like there's often multiple stories in there. You know, my parents almost got divorced, and like um, when they tell you, when one of them moves out, when like specific events are what work best for this four-step writing process. A very kind of heavy personal share on this one. Uh, when my brother died suddenly in 2021, there were like 7 stories from within a 24-hour period. Because the more that you can parse out the specific instances, the more that you can look at the specific emotion that's stored, get it up and out, feel it all the way through, and actually clear out the stuff that's running circles in your head that most of us won't admit's there until we're actually in it. So, Alyssa, thank you for reading. Is there, I would love to work with two people here. Is there one more person willing to read what they wrote? Ashley,
I can
let's hear it.
read. Let's see. I did come in here with not a lot of context, so I don't know if I approached this the right way, but here's
I'm
what
good.
I did. I said, Dear polarity and authenticity, I worry that I will push people away with my truths, but I know my story is my testimony and I will help people transform with it. I worry that because I am a high achieving person who has done well and made it to the other side, but a lot of people who have gone through what I have not, I may attract the wrong people. But I do know that God has given me these experiences for a reason, and I need to share it to gain the stage I want. It will lead to the books I want to write, the podcasts I want to be on, the speaking engagements. And I can't fear my story and my history. They have formed me and shaped me and deserve to be seen. I can transform lives when others realize that their downfalls, their hurts, and struggles can be fuel for their freedom, their growth, their big, beautiful life. I need to stop fearing the judgment, and I know that the right people will come. I have big plans and abilities, and I need to stop being afraid of what people will think on the other side of it.
Hmm. Thanks for reading.
Mhm.
Strongest emotion as you read that?
You know that I'm not afraid of public speaking, but you know
Hmm.
that feeling when you have to get up in front of a class when you're in like middle school and give a
Mhm.
presentation and you just feel kind of like jittery and you know you're going to walk up to the front.
Oh,
Like
I had sweat running down my waistband. Yeah.
yeah, like it gives me that feeling, and I'm so comfortable with being in front of people and speaking. So I don't know why sometimes I feel like there's that disconnect between
Mm.
sharing on social. I feel like sharing in person and sharing on social media are just two very different
Yeah.
approaches. And one of them gives me the heebie-jeebies and like makes me squirmy, and one of them doesn't. And I don't
Well,
know why.
that heebie-jeebie squirmy feeling, one's low, ten's high. How big is it?
Um, like talking about it or when I'm like doing it.
Yes, both.
So when I'm talking about it, like to you guys, I feel it like a four maybe
Okay.
because I'm not doing it. But like when I have those moments where I have those like aha things where I'm like, I need to share this, and I pull up my phone and I'm like, how do I make this make sense? How do I share this with people in a way that's going to resonate that I'm trying to encourage them to be this highly successful person, to have the $1 million house, to build a big business, to have a beautiful family, but have it not come off like just struggle street,
Hmm.
like it's hard for me to explain the breakthrough in such a short amount of time. And I think that's the struggle is it's like I have 3 minutes to make a really important point.
So when you're in that moment, one's low, ten's high. How big is the heebie-jeebie squirmy feeling?
I'd say it, I feel like maybe a six, and it just makes me
Cool.
uncertain what to say.
Where does it show up in your body?
I feel it like in my shoulders. Like
Cool. Heebie-jeebie, squirmy in your shoulders, somewhere between 4 and 6. When's the earliest time you can remember feeling that?
I think it does go back to like middle school, like having to do my first presentations, but I also think it kind of relates back to like when my parents were getting divorced and my mom relapsed and I was lying to everybody about what was going on in my life because I was like, I
Mm.
can't tell them. They can't know my family's all fucked up.
And there's a solid chance that when we lie to other people about what's going on in our life, we are in one way, shape, or form going to war with reality with ourselves.
Mhm.
So I would invite you to write those titles out, right? Like when my parents were getting divorced, when mom relapsed, and any specific memories from that season. Get those memories out. Alyssa, you want to do the second read on this one?
Sure.
Cool. So the second read, I call it the scenic route, because you're going to read at 80% speed, nice and slow, all the way through
Cool.
when you're ready.
Okay. Dear vulnerability, you suck. You've been my forever problem. I want to seem polished, witty, have depth, can provide clarity. I'm afraid by people seeing my real self, they'll see the overweight, non-PhD, failed dancer, curly-headed, insecure, overthinking, non-decisive fraud. Logically, I know I have value to share and that lots of people respect and look up to me. But I feel like a small fish in a big pond. I don't know what about me is interesting or magnetizing. And the thought of testing it, because that's what I do, I'm a researcher who analyzes data, is overwhelming. So many angles, so many formats, struggling to ready, fire, aim versus ready, aim, fire. Getting better though.
Great job. What happened when you slowed that down?
Um, well, I felt calmer.
Okay.
I had to focus on being slow
Yeah.
because I wanted to just read right through it and be done. Um, and it also gave me an opportunity to think about what parts actually are true versus some old version or story I was saying to myself.
Beautiful. What what came up when you thought about that? You think about what's true and what's not.
Like the specifics or my takeaways.
Takeaways.
Um, that they can be true and I can also provide value.
Hmm. Cool. When you say it's calmer, I know we were like that, what, 7 out of 10 anxiety on that first read. What was the emotion on the second read?
Where or
Yeah.
what?
What was the
Uh,
emotion? And then we'll go where.
it was what was the emotion? I didn't I don't know if I had a whole lot of emotion. It felt kind of neutral.
Beautiful. Cool. And hey, y'all, so you're aware, this four-step process works different for a lot of people. I've seen people put a title on the page, sob for 5 minutes, and then we go through the writing and the reading, and we're good. One way or the other, though, we air it out. So, Alyssa, thanks for playing. Ashley, you want to do your slow read? I know how much you love talking slow.
Oh gosh, it gives me anxiety just thinking about doing that. No. Dear Polarity and Magnetism, I worry that I will push people away with my truths, but I know that my story is my testimony and will help people transform. I worry that because I am high achieving, but most people who have gone through what I have may not have come out on the other side, I may attract the wrong people. But I know that God has given me these experiences for a reason. I need to share to gain the stage I want. It will lead to the books I want to write, the podcasts I want to be on, the speaking engagements that I want. I can't fear my story and my history. They formed me and shaped me, and they deserve to be seen. I can transform lives when others realize that their downfalls, hurts, and struggles can be the fuel to their freedom, their growth, and their big, beautiful life. I need to stop fearing the judgment. The right people will come. I have big plans and abilities, and I need to stop being afraid of the other side of it.
Great job. What happened when you slowed that down?
It stops feeling scary.
If it's not feeling scary, what is it feeling?
Just contentment.
Hmm. With what exactly?
The fact that I don't have to be afraid of who I am or what got me here. And I don't need to be afraid of how it comes across when I share it because it's nobody's to judge or own but my own. Like, I'm literally going to get off of this call and go record a video and just rant a little bit about who I am and what got me here. And I'm just going to post it and be
Cool.
okay with that.
Hey, real quick before we get, I got something for you on that, Ashley. And before I share screen, I got this. For anybody still here, 47 minutes in, hanging out for this work, um, I got a one-to-one for you if you want to dive in at all. I'm not an official CSM. I got one-to-one for you. If you want more, we can talk about that. But anybody that has opened a loop here, I would like to offer you the opportunity to close it. And Ashley, read that.
I am content with the fact that I don't have to be afraid of who I am and what got me here. I am content with who I am and what got me here.
Big breath. Which do you prefer?
This one.
Cool. You you're really good about like not having soft talk, the maybes, the kind of, the shoulds, or the almost like the negations though. Not this, don't that.
Mhm.
Does anybody here drive with their face in the rearview mirror, staring where we don't want to go? Hey y'all, don't think of a pink elephant. So I know Ashley's a trooper and she can handle me
I can.
putting a little bit of humor into it.
Also, you guys should all schedule that one-on-one. I did one with him, and that process he just did with the erasing things, that had me shook at the end of my one-on-one, guys. Everybody go schedule that call with him.
I'll get you your commission later, Ashley. No, seriously, guys. I first and foremost want to close loops. If you are here, please take me up on that. And please book it before my wife pops and I have to take a week and I get to take a week off. Um, she's due in 10 days. So, all right. Slowed it down. You're inspired to post now. Awesome. We'll come back around for step 4. Alyssa, would you like to do one more read here? Cool. We're going to breathe this time. So you're going to get to the end of each sentence. You're going to take a full breath in, full breath out. All right.
Am I mute?
So
Okay, cool.
when you're ready.
Dear vulnerability, you suck. You've been my forever problem. I want to seem polished, witty, have depth, can provide clarity. I'm afraid by people seeing my real self, they'll see the overweight, non-PhD, failed dancer, curly-headed, insecure, overthinking, non-decisive fraud. Logically, I know I have value to share and that lots of people respect and look up to me. But I feel like a small fish in a big pond. I don't know what about me is interesting or magnetizing, and the thought of testing it, because I'm a researcher and that's what I do, analyze data, is overwhelming. So many angles, so many formats. Struggling to ready, fire, aim versus ready, aim, fire. Getting better though.
What happened when you put the breath in there?
Um, it was really uncomfortable at the beginning.
Uncomfortable
Like,
how?
um, like I'm taking up so much time and all these people are here and just sharing all this random crap who would
What a
possibly
good
need to
practice in
listen.
vulnerability, huh?
I know.
So
I
what was the
know.
strongest emotion after putting the breath in?
Um, uh, at the beginning, it, like I said, it was just uncomfortable. Towards the
Yeah.
end, I would say the strongest emotion was um, determination,
Hmm.
because somewhere in there, I just decided, you know what, we're all here and we're all listening, and I have every right to take up this space and this time, and that's what we're doing right
Cool.
now.
On that note, this was a sentence from there. Please read that out loud.
You've been my forever problem.
Read that and take a breath.
You've been my forever opportunity.
I'm gonna take by that smile that you prefer that one. Read that.
I've been my forever opportunity.
Big breath. What happens there?
Oh man, I'm just like really fucking excited.
Cool. Read this, take a breath. Let me know whether you prefer Ben or am. Oh, and don't make it I've because, there we go.
I am my forever opportunity. I really liked I've been my forever opportunity, but
Beautiful. Oh, wait, and? Go ahead.
and I like this one too, but maybe not as much. I don't know. It's a tough one. I like them both. One
Well, I
speaks
mean,
to where I've been, and one speaks to where I'm going.
play with them both. Put both of them up, possibly. Like rep these. Burn this into your reticular activating system. All
Yeah.
right. There's something that happens here, and like you guys experienced the 4-step process once or twice. It's like, I feel great, but we're staring at one corner of our house that we cleaned up, and there's the rest of it too. So rep the affirmation we get and understand that whatever is unearthed, like it would make sense to go into that too. So like whatever stories anybody has titled out here from following the process, let's 4-step. Alyssa, thank you for playing. Appreciate you being
Thank
here.
you. Yeah.
Ashley, you want to read it and breathe?
I sure can, but if you wanted to cover anything else for the last 5 minutes, you're welcome to. I promise I'd do it after by myself if you want to take the time.
I believe you. And here's what I want to cover, y'all. Grab that link, book a call. Let's dig in and close any loops. And then show up to the mastermind ready to play all in because we get to do this in person. And now we have time for Ashley Reed.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
Gotcha.
Dear Polarity and Magnetism, I worry that I will push people away with my truths, but I know that my story is my testimony. I worry that because I am high achieving, but most people who have gone through what I have may not have come out on the other side, I may attract the wrong people. But I know that God has given me these experiences for a reason, and I need to share to gain the stage I have always wanted. It will lead to the books I want to write, the podcasts I want to be on, the speaking engagements I desire. I can't fear my story, my history, or my history. They've formed and shaped me and deserve to be seen. I can transform lives when others realize that their downfalls hurts, and struggles can be the fuel to their freedom, their growth, and their big, beautiful lives. Stop fearing the judgment, and the right people will come. You have big plans and abilities, and you need to stop being afraid of the other side of it.
All right. What happened there? You put the breath in.
Just calm.
Cool. We got 3 minutes. We can roll this real quick. Read that.
I can't fear my story.
Read that and take a breath.
I can accept my story.
Read this, take a breath. Let me know what you prefer.
I can embrace my story. Embrace.
Read that, take a breath.
I am embracing my story.
And that right there is at the core of what I do, y'all. Appreciate you bringing it home with that with that layup for that's where it is, embracing our story. Thank you each and every one of you for being here. If you have yet to get that link, grab it from the chat before I close this Zoom room. I appreciate you being here and playing all in. I love doing this work. It's regenerative for me to get to facilitate this, and I appreciate you guys playing here. So, on that note, I'm gonna go find a space heater because this basement office is chilly. Y'all
Well,
enjoy.
it's like 80 here in Arizona, so you guys are gonna be thrilled in a couple weeks.
Yeah, sun's out, guns out. All right,
I've been
y'all.
wearing pants all year.
I'm sitting here with joggers and socks on, like trying to stay warm. So,
Oh my goodness.
all
Thank you.
right. Thank you. Appreciate you guys being here.
Bye, guys.